Hey everyone, welcome back, or thank you for stopping by. My name's Kathy. This video I was going to talk about being over 50 and getting on YouTube, and pretty much all because of the channel doordash and the Hope Crew. So if you don't know about them, check them out. So it's DOUGH dash and the Hope Crew, and there's several people that are part of that. So yeah, when I was, I think 52, might have been 51 actually. I was working at a corporate job. It wasn't 9 to 5, but it was all different hours and days. It could be as early as 5 in the morning or 7 in the morning, and as late as 9, 10 o'clock at night. I think a couple times were 11 o'clock during like holiday time. But yeah, I had been there for I think 5 years, and yeah, sometimes you just get tired of all the BS and the corporate BS. Even small companies, they can have some, but not like huge corporations, my experience. So I've worked for a few really large nationwide, meaning companies in America, and yeah, the joke was always that the bigwigs in the corporate offices, they have no idea what is going on in the store, down on the floor, you know, whether you're putting items on the shelf or helping customers. Mostly retail were these jobs, and you know, they would make these, implement new rules and things to do, and they would make no sense whatsoever. And I'm sure if you guys have experience with like large corporate companies, especially retail or grocery, yeah, it's unbelievable. And I have a lot of friends and family members that are in the same industry, working for corporations, and it's just so frustrating. You know, you get home and you're just like, how do they expect us to do this? It makes no sense whatsoever. And like, I would tell whoever was telling me that, or tell myself, you know, that these millionaires probably, that are very wealthy people, you know, vice presidents or CEOs of whatever company, they're just sitting in an office and they have no idea what it's actually like in the store, in the environment that we are in. So yeah, and plus there was the whole, let me know if you guys have had the same experience with like favoritism from the store managers, or even your manager or your supervisor. I mean, it was beyond ridiculous. So like a lot of people who, you know, workers that were the favorites, you know, they wouldn't hardly have to do anything. And then if you weren't a favorite and you were working your butt off, you know, it was never noticed or acknowledged, or, I mean, never a thank you for anything. And I don't really need that. I don't need to be told, you know, oh, you're doing a good job, or, you know, thank you for whatever. But I mean, maybe once or twice, like in 5 years, would have been nice. I think one time not my immediate manager, but his manager said, oh, I appreciate you. And I think my reply was, really? Do you? And he just, you know, he was just passing by. He's like, I appreciate you, and just kept going. I was like, do you? And he didn't even, you know, they just don't even pay attention. And yeah, so the favoritism is just out of hand. So if you aren't one of the favorites, you aren't going to get anything. They could call out every single day. They could leave early. They could come in late. I don't think I was late one time in 5 years. But if I called out because I was really sick, or for example, if I had a funeral to go to, they give you attitude. They're like, really? Oh, so you can't make it in? It's like, no, I can't. I would have something like 86 sick hours or something like that. And yeah, so I'm sure a lot of people, and I see a lot of channels on YouTube, not only being over 50 and getting on YouTube, but also over 50 and leaving corporate America, leaving your 9 to 5, saying, nope, I don't need that. I don't need the stress, the anxiety, the headache, the disrespect. I see so many channels, and some people like doordash, she says, tell your story, put it out there, and so maybe it'll encourage other people. It's okay to leave your job, even if it's like a high paying job. There's always other jobs out there. And what I ended up doing is, and it ended up happening, this was around, it was the beginning of the year, I think 2 years ago, I'd have to look, but, it was around springtime, let's just say 2 years ago, and I was going to put my notice in that summer. I'd had enough, and they were going to do a huge store remodel and all this stuff, and my boss had left because he was like, no, I'm getting out of here before all this restructuring happens. And they already started it. They were going to get rid of his position, so he would basically have to take a huge pay cut and position cut, and he was like, nope. So he transferred anyway. So my immediate boss was, I did not want to be there, and so and I knew that was going to be happening around the summertime. And a couple other coworkers of mine were like, yeah, that'll be a good time to leave. And I'd been thinking about doing food delivery like DoorDash, UberEats, Grubhub for a long time. I just always thought it'd be fun, interesting, just to make some money on the side, just have flexibility, and just be able to, work when you want for however long you want, things like that. And from what I'd heard, that the pay was pretty good, or at least okay, comparable to what I was making. And so what ended up happening in the spring, about 3 months before I was going to give my notice, that was my plan, was a family member got hurt really bad in a car accident. And so I ended up having to take time off from work, which, like I said, I had a huge amount of sick leave and vacation time and all this stuff. And that was a good thing about the company, but probably the only good thing. And so, although I need to be grateful, they did pay pretty well, but yes, they had good benefits. So I will say that, we have to be thankful and grateful and give thanks where it is due. So yes, a family member got hurt. I took time off to take care of them, and it ended up being about a month. All these doctor appointments and this, that, and the other thing, and scans, and we weren't sure if there were going to be surgeries, and this person was not able to hardly walk for a while, but it worked out for me to take the time off, and I thought, this might be a good time. So the way things ended up happening, I was talking to the HR lady and even the union rep. The company I worked for, at least we were union, or we had a union, and so that's why, we had higher pay, we had a lot of perks. like good benefits and that stuff, but it was just the management that was so bad. So bad. Oh my gosh, that could be a whole other video on, I mean, a lot of the things were good, but just the way the management dealt with you as an employee and the procedures and the rules and all that stuff. And like I said, the favoritism. And I mean, you did not want to work there. And so many people would leave. It was a huge company, but their turnover was just nonstop. And yeah, so yes, I took time off, was talking to the HR lady and the union rep, and especially the union rep because she's on the side of the employee. So I would share things with her and she was very helpful. And so it ended up, I put in my notice. I got paid out for whatever I hadn't used, but also I left on good terms to where in the future, the HR lady said I was rehireable. So if another company called and asked for a reference, you know, that would be what she would say. And she was very helpful, but it's just such a bad environment. Oh my gosh. So I ended up leaving there, but at the same time, I was watching all these videos online about how to start doing food delivery and what I needed to know and how to just get started with that. So I signed up with, I think UberEats was first and then Grubhub. It took a long time for DoorDash to get accepted with them. Like you're on a waiting list with them, at least for that area, for a long time. But I can't remember if before I quit officially, if I actually started doing deliveries. I'd have to look back at the calendar, but yeah, I just started and it was going so good. And I have videos on here. I think the first 2 videos of my channel are just starting off doing food delivery and what I learned like in the first week and the first month. And it's definitely a learning curve, but it was so great. Oh my gosh. And it still is. I'm going to continue doing it. We moved to a different area of the United States a couple months ago, and I haven't had a chance yet, but I'm going to check out delivering in the nearest town here that has it. And so, and I'll do like a ride along video with that. But it was so great to get out of, you know, you're basically your own boss. I mean, there's some rules you have to follow, this and that, you know, you have to be on time and deliver it on time and be polite and clean and hygienic and all those things. But yeah, you can work whenever you want, especially with Uber Eats and Grubhub. DoorDash, you have to schedule and be on there only when you're scheduled, unless they're super busy and it says, you know, log on now. So, but yeah, with the other 2, I just jumped in and started doing some deliveries here and there, and it was so great. I mean, I could work for a few hours. I could, if I needed to do errands or take the family member to a doctor appointment, I could go home, get them, take them, drop them back off, and then go out and do more deliveries. I could work as late as I wanted. I could start as early as I wanted. I got to know, you know, breakfast shift, is that better than, you know, lunch, or is it worth it? Because I was about 15-20 minutes from the little town and where I would deliver, so I would have to weigh, you know, was it worth it to drive that? And if I was sitting there for a long time with no deliveries, then it wasn't worth it. But I mostly did, let's just say like 11 a.m. to dinner time. Like during the summer, I'd go late because I didn't usually deliver after dark just for safety and my eyesight. You know, seeing house numbers and street signs at nighttime is hard, but the daytime is fine. So I would deliver just all different chunks of time. I could even go home between, say, 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. and maybe do stuff around the house, or I could do errands, or maybe meet a friend for lunch or a coffee or something, and then go back out and keep doing delivery. So it was so great. It was so flexible, and the money was fine. I would keep track of everything, and I was making either what I made at my other job or even better. So, you know, just depending on how much I worked and all that. Yeah, so if you want to watch, like I was saying, the first 2 videos of mine, if you're interested in seeing kind of what it's like, and I think I talk about other channels too that helped me learn what to expect. But I can't say enough good things about it. Getting out of like the corporate world and away from, oh my gosh, I don't want to say idiots, but we'll just say people who just don't have a clue about either what you're doing or how things work or what it's like with the customers or what the customers need or want. And yeah, I mean, so many companies could be running so much better in my opinion. But yeah, so it was so great. And I would even meet so many people out doing deliveries. I would talk to other delivery drivers as we were waiting for orders, especially at the beginning, and just pick their brain about what their experience was. Are they busy today? What places do they avoid? And a lot of people were definitely over 50, if not over 60. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there were any over 70, but yeah, a lot of older people, like retired, semi-retired, and they just, you know, they want to keep working. They want money coming in, or they have to have money coming in. They like the flexibility, just being able, you know, to be out and about, to talk with people, to socialize a little bit. Yeah, just be out in the community. So all in all, it was really good. So I highly recommend it, not just for over 50, but if you're around that age and you're super frustrated with your job, your boss, your coworkers, you know, and that was, I don't think I touched on that, but you know, there's like backstabbing and cattiness and gossiping. And if you're not, you know, part of a certain group, or like I would wear my cross necklace every day, and I did that on purpose at my job. And yeah, and some people don't like that. Some people definitely don't like that, and they make it known, but you know, I wasn't gonna not do it. So anyways, yeah, sometimes it's just so nice to get away from all of that BS, like I was saying, and just, you're still working, you're still being productive, you're having an income, you're helping people. You know, there's a lot of people who are housebound, who are injured, you know, they need their groceries delivered, they just need food delivered for whatever reason. Yeah, so it was really good. So I highly recommend it. So this is almost 20 minutes. So I will wrap this up, but thank you for being here for this long. And yeah, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you found this helpful, and check out my other videos. This month of November is a month of giving thanks. So every day there's a thankful video. All right, everyone, take care. God bless. Bye.